everyone to another episode of the In the Hot Seat podcast. And in this week's episode is going to be about AEW with Revolution, which happened last night. And on the 0 hour, getting right down into it, where we basically had just one match. And this one, we had Mark Briscoe tagging with the Lucha Brothers and as well the Varsity Athletes and Josh Woods. Really fun stuff to have things for the 0 hour. Really cool back and forth stuff. In the end, Mark Briscoe and as well the Lucha Brothers were able to get the win, so I'm very happy about that. Getting into with the main card and everything else that did happen, basically not in any particular order. Where we had the final burial match with Christian Cage and Jungle Boy. This one is basically with these two a long time coming. For a while, Christian was out due to injury and stuff, so we didn't really see these two for a little while, basically going head to head, back and forth with words and stuff far too much. But with this one, this was basically more for all for Jungle Boy and being able to go to a place where he was able to find it within himself and be able to try and stop Christian the best that he actually could, especially with all the bullshit that he's been through by Christian. Christian felt like a little bit luck on his side, but that wasn't the case. And Jungle Boy actually being able to take out Christian on this. We did get to see basically the two chairs for the concerto, basically, to try be able to deal with trying to stop Jungle Boy, but Jungle Boy was able to have enough energy to come back and actually defeat Christian Cage, so I'm happy about that. Um, we'll see where things go. I'm sure Jungle Boy will definitely move on to other things. But the first match that we did get to see was Chris Jericho and Ricky Starks. The Jericho Appreciation Society was banned from ringside for this match. In the end, after a while, we did get to see Sammy Guevara try and help out Chris Jericho, but we had Ricky Starks being able to find a way to stop Chris Jericho and take him out, which is really cool to be able to see him get that big win. I'm happy about that. And then we had the AEW World Trios championships on the line, the House of Black and the Elite. It could have went really either or, and I would have been happy regardless of the result. The Elite have been basically on a roll for the Trios tag team titles, but the House of Black were able to stop the Elite and get the tag team titles, which is really cool. I'm happy about that. I really liking that for sure. Then we get to basic tag team titles. We had the Guns on this one, dealing with the acclaimed Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, Orange Cassidy and Danhausen on this one, which I felt like that would have been the team to actually win. If I'm all honest, and that was the team that I was actually going for. If it wasn't them, it was the Acclaimed for me. So either one of those two teams, I feel like would have been able to get the win. But the Guns somehow were able to retain and come back. Then we get to see FTR taking out the Guns and basically wanting the tag team titles. So I could see that going probably for double or nothing. So maybe FTR and the Guns will go at it for the tag team titles. Then we get to the TNT title. Samoa Joe and Willow, really interesting stuff. We had Will Hobbs basically eyeing on who would be the winner of the match and being able to see who would be he will be facing on that. And we did get to see Willow get the TNT Championship is looking to face Powerhouse Hobbs on this one. So, and that should be interesting there. Then we get the AEW Women's World Titles Triple Threat match. Jamie Hayter, Saraya, as well Ruby Soho on this one. It was kind of tough for me to see who I really wanted to win the most. It was basically up in the air at this point, and I was going at it with an open mind and just enjoying the match for what it was. Saraya being able to have Tony Storm there as well for her corner and everything. Jamie Hayter basically having Britt Baker as well. Ruby Soho just basically going at it alone. But we did get to see Jamie Hayter keep her women's world title, but Ruby Soho wasn't too sure of who she was going to be signing on with either Saraya's team or Jamie Hayter's team. I felt like it was going to be going towards a more so Jamie Hayter after the match, but she actually started with Saraya and Tony Storm, which makes sense having basically and the NXT girls sticking together. So I thought that was really cool there. And then we get to basically a Fight Forever clinic with the Texas Death Match, John Moxley, and as well Adam Page. Probably my favorite match of the night. Seeing it all between these two, with the bricks getting involved. We saw the steel chairs as well. Basically, a bloody battle to say the very least. Adam Page surprisingly actually getting the win. That was really cool there. Especially beforehand, during the match, which John Moxley used to stomp. I really appreciated that the fans were actually having a sing along with Seth Rollins' theme. After that, I thought that was a nice touch there. But Adam Page getting his win in a Texas Death Match, which is really cool to note there. And then we get into the main event for the World Heavyweight title, the 60-minute Iron Man match, MJF and Bryan Danielson. And Bryan Danielson beforehand in a way, having things in jeopardy. So if he lost, he wouldn't be able to have this match, but he was able to actually have it. And these two putting on a back and forth match, uh, actually for a while too, for a tie between the two, and eventually going into sudden death, which was good. I'm happy about that. That we were able to have the sudden death. Then I was hoping Bryan Danielson will get the win, but MJF keeping the World Heavyweight title and as well being the devil, obviously that he is, and keeping the world title at all costs. So I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what's going to be happening, especially going into Double or Nothing. I could see another match between the two. That remains to be seen. But that was AEW Revolution. I enjoyed it definitely in the stream. For Bleacher Report, didn't really fuck up for me this time, and it really screwed up, which was good because I had some issues last time. So this time around, it was actually good. So I was happy about that and enjoyed Revolution. So that about does it for this week's episode for the In the Hot Seat podcast. I still got The Last of Us and being able to review episodes 7 and 8. So be on the lookout for that. A lot more coming as well for this month and as well for April as well, because WrestleMania season is here and WrestleMania happening just next month. So a lot to look forward to. So definitely check out the In the Hot Seat podcast socials as well in the description. As always, so I appreciate the love and support as always, and I'll catch everyone next time for the In the Hot Seat.